Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to do my top 5 tips for high schoolers when wanting to join the Air Force. So if some of these tips don't pertain to you, I'll go ahead and leave timestamps in the description box so you guys can just skip ahead to whatever tip you guys want to know about. And then lastly, before I get started with the video, I have all my 5 tips written on my laptop, so if I'm looking over here, it's just for me to stay on track with the video. And then if you guys do enjoy this video and find it helpful, please leave a like and leave a comment down below on what you guys would like to see in a later video. Okay, you guys, my first tip for any high schooler that's looking to join the military is do not do anything that can get you in serious trouble. So by that I mean do not do drugs, don't drink underage, don't hang around the wrong people. That's a really big one because hanging around the wrong people will tend to make you follow them and follow what they're doing and the decisions that they're making. And 9 times out of 10, they're bad decisions and you will get in trouble, and that could all lead you into not being able to qualify to join the military. Okay, so in my notes I have written down birds of a feather flock together. So that literally means that who you hang around is who you are going to be. So if you choose to hang around people who do bad things, who are like rebels, who don't listen to their parents, that's who you're going to turn out to be because you guys all hang out together. If you choose to hang around people who have goals and aspirations and who work hard and study in school, that's most likely what you're going to turn out to be. And I recommend to be that type of person, to hang out with those type of people so that you can just make the best of your education and your life and give yourself more opportunities in the end. Okay, and then going along with the first tip, my last little bullet point I have is don't make mistakes that could lead you into trouble. So even one little mistake that you make can lead you into serious trouble. Like, you might think it's little, but it could end up leading you into trouble with the law or with your school and having you get suspended, or just any little mistake, like one little mistake that you make on accident could really determine the rest of your life and whether or not you will be qualified to enter into the military. Okay, so all in all for tip number 1 is basically just to make good decisions and listen to your parents and use common sense when hanging around people and making decisions, after school, in school. Just do what you're supposed to do and just make the right decision. I know it can be hard sometimes to follow like the popular people or whoever is like doing stupid stuff, but just don't do it. It's not worth it, and it makes you look stupid in the end, honestly. Just make good decisions. Okay, going along with tip number 1 with just making good decisions is to take school seriously. And this was its own tip because this is such a big thing in life that I think everyone needs to just understand from the minute they're put in school. I think their parents need to be telling them this, but in high school especially, high school is very easy compared to college, and people might think it's really, really easy, so they might slack off and do, the bare minimum. They might just do whatever just to pass their classes, but high school really is the foundation of what you're going to be learning in college. It's your foundation, your structure. I would say really to just get really good study skills in high school. That way you can add them into your college studying once you start college. It's really important to have a good education, and education is where your life will basically end up. You know what I mean? Like, just for example, for the military, since we're talking about that. So like I was saying, you have to take the ASVAB to even qualify to get into the military. No matter what branch you join, you have to take the ASVAB and get the minimum score that they allow. For the Air Force, I think the minimum score is a 32. And that basically is you have English, you have math, you have science, you have general knowledge, you have electronics, just a bunch of different, I think there's 9 categories of information that you'll be tested on, and the higher you score, the more job opportunities you'll get. So it's really important to learn in high school and to study, especially if you're joining the military right after high school. You want to get the highest grade possible on the ASVAB. That way you have the most job opportunities available to you at the time. And then along with learning in high school and getting a really good education and good foundation in high school is that once you start looking for colleges and applying to colleges, if you have really good high school GPA, you can end up getting a scholarship to a really good college and end up going to school for free, and then do the military after. And then I know some people do the military right after high school. Actually, probably the majority of people do it that way. I recommend going to college first and then joining the military. And the reason why I say that is just because, again, it's your education. That's the most important thing you're going to have. And I think that if you really take that into consideration, it actually is better for you in the way that once you finish college, you get a degree. And if you join the military after college with a degree, you go in as a higher rank. And a higher rank means higher pay. And then also, if you have a college degree before entering the military, at least you have a degree to back you up just in case anything happens, just in case you join the military and you find that you don't like it. You do your minimum amount of years, and after that, you can leave the military and already with a college degree, already with your education. So if once you have your college degree and you leave the military, you can end up just going right into the workforce and getting a job that you like and not having to worry about going back to school and finishing school or anything like that. And then my third tip that I have for you guys is to join JROTC. So this is Junior Reserve Officer Training. Now I'm looking over here a lot for this one because I have no idea really what it is and I've never done it myself. If I knew about it, I probably would have, but basically, it's a program. I looked it up and it says that it's a program that prepares you for joining the military and becoming a model citizen. And the program promotes citizenship, discipline, and skill development in a military-inspired model. So this is a program that you would join in high school, and then I think there's also ROTC for college, once you're in college. So then basically you can apply to this program throughout high school and college, and then I believe once you're finished with it, you can go directly into whatever base you, or whatever branch you want in the military and become an officer, and you don't have to go in enlisted, which again means higher pay and a higher rank. So I think that Junior Reserve Officer Training is a really, really good thing for anyone looking to join the military who's in high school or college. I think that you guys should definitely do your own research and talk to your schools about it if they have it, just because I can't tell you any more than that because I haven't done it myself. I wish I did, but I think that that's a really big thing, and that's why I wanted to put it in my top 5 tips, because that literally prepares you the best way possible to join the military, when you're in high school or in college. Okay, so my 4th tip for you guys is both for the military and just for a basic life tip that I think that everyone should do when they're in high school and in college. And I think that one is to get into an internship or do volunteer work in a field that you're interested in. This is a huge one, even for your resume, for telling a recruiter what you want, what job you want, just for even knowing yourself what you're interested in, what you really enjoy doing. If you get an internship in a field that you like, you get automatic job experience. You get internship hours for programs. You automatically get your foot in the door with employers and with hiring managers that know you and that like you and that have worked with you. You just get so much really, really valuable experience when you do an internship or do volunteer work. So let's see what else I have here. Okay, I can use myself as an example. So in high school, I applied to the local hospital here as an intern, and I didn't get it the first time I applied. So then I did volunteer work there instead for almost a year. I was a volunteer at the hospital, and as soon as I got into college, I applied again for the internship program, and I got it. And that has provided me with so many good benefits and work experience, and I actually got my first hospital job because I was in the internship there. So just things like that you can put on your resume. You meet people, you make so many good connections, and you network, and it really just helps you get your foot in the door and helps you make connections with everyone you're working with, and it helps you learn what you like and what you don't like. Like, for example, you can get an internship in the hospital and start working and be like, I do not like this, this is not for me. That's really good, because then, for example, if you told your recruiter that you wanted a medical job and you didn't do the internship, then you wouldn't know that you don't like to do medical, and you'd be stuck with the job for years until you're able to switch out. If you were to do an internship before, you would know, okay, I don't want anything medical, and you would tell your recruiter that. That way, when the time comes for job selection, he would know and not give you anything medical, if that makes any sense. So yeah, that's just my 4th tip, is just to do internships or volunteer work, or even just research online on YouTube, watch videos on a day in the life videos or anything like that, just so you can really experience it and learn what you truly like to do and what you don't like to do. That way, when it comes time to talk about jobs with your recruiter, you'll know automatically what you want to do, and you'll be able to narrow down your options that fast. Okay, guys, so my fifth tip is my favorite one, just because it's one that's actually like physical. You can start doing tonight. It's to start working out. This is a huge one. I cannot stress how important this is because I see it every single time I have to do anything related to the military. The girls and the guys are not ready for BMT. Like, they're not ready for BMT at all. Okay, so for example, I just went to a drill weekend, which is where I go to the Air Force base that's closest to me, and I spend the whole weekend there, and we do drills. We practice. It's basically like a practice for basic training. So I go, and Saturday night and Sunday night we had to do PT, and there were so many people who were not prepared, who were shipping out like within the next few days or the next couple of months or next month. They were getting shipped out to basic training, and they were nowhere near ready to do PT every single day or at least 6 days a week like how we do in basic training. So it's just really, really important that you guys get in shape and you start working out now. That way when you go to basic, you're not struggling and you're not out of breath when you're trying to do the 1.5 miles. You're not struggling to do 5 push-ups. It sounds like it's easy, like the minimum amounts required, like, okay, the minimum push-ups for women is, like 18 push-ups, the minimum time for the 1.5 miles, 16 minutes, and then, what is it, like 30 sit-ups. Those are all the minimums. People can't even do that, and it's, like, really hard to watch when they're leaving so soon to basic training. It's like, you guys have to be ready for this because it's going to hit you hard, and BMT is already this like a really stressful time. I feel like why would you want to add more stress on having to wonder if you're going to pass your PT test and either get held back from BMT or even kicked out of the military altogether because you can't pass PT. It's like that serious. Okay, and then I have here written down all of the minimums for both male and females. So I'm just going to read off my laptop so you guys who are watching can write this down yourselves and start preparing now. So, okay, so for the Air Force, the minimum requirements for women for PT, physical training, 18 push-ups in a minute, 38 sit-ups in a minute, and a 14-minute and 26-second 1.5 mile run. So that's just for women. Those are the minimum requirements to pass the physical training test. And then for men, the push-up requirement is 25 push-ups in a minute, 35 sit-ups in a minute. I might have gotten that mixed up. It might be 35 for women and 38 for men. And then the men have to finish their 1.5 mile run in 13 minutes and 45 seconds. And then also, if I did mix those numbers up, I think I just mixed up the sit-up requirement, but you can find that online easily. Just Google like Air Force PT like minimum requirements, and then a whole chart will come up, even for your age and everything like that. But like I said, those are just the minimum requirements. I do not recommend only shooting for the minimum. I would really push yourself and try and receive the best scores you can get. And so for BMT, you can receive an award that's called Warhawk, and that is you basically being the most physically fit person at basic training. And then if you guys do want to receive Warhawk and be the most physically fit person at basic training, I'm going to read you guys the requirements for that. So this is definitely difficult. Like, this is difficult and you guys are going to have to work for it, but I think it's so worth it. So for women, you must complete 50 push-ups or more in a minute, 55 sit-ups in a minute, or a 10-minute or less 1.5 mile run. So that's definitely a challenge, but you can do it. Oh, and then also there's pull-ups. So you have to do at least 5 pull-ups, and I think they use pull-ups as a tiebreaker in case you tie with another female at basic training. They use that as a tiebreaker to see, okay, well, who can do more pull-ups, and they'll receive the Warhawk Award. And then the Warhawk requirements for men are, okay, so men have to do 75 push-ups or more in a minute, 80 sit-ups or more in a minute, and they have to do their 1.5 mile run in 8 minutes and 8 seconds or less. And then for them, their tiebreaker would be pull-ups as well, and they have to do 10 or more pull-ups. So basically it's really tough and it's really difficult to receive Warhawk, but that's why only the most physically fit person in basic training will receive that award. And I think it's really a good challenge for you guys to do in order to push yourself and see how far you can really go. So basically those are my 5 tips, and the 5th one is my favorite just because it's fun, it's working out, it's bettering yourself and being really competitive with people around you, and I always think that that's fun. So yeah, those are my 5 tips. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. I've been getting a lot of questions on my recent video, just like even people telling me when they ship, and it's just really fun and exciting to meet you guys and to hear when you're shipping and what your jobs are and just everything like that. It's really fun. So yeah, that's my video. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you did, please leave a like down below. Share it with other people you know who are leaving a basic, or with your friends who are wanting to join the military. Share it with everyone. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.